Would you date someone who's trans? Would you date someone who's black? Would you date someone who's fat? Would you date someone who's disabled? Now, honestly, I don't know what your answer is to those questions, but I've met a surprising number of people who would say no to all or at least some of them.
Yeah, I'd definitely say no to some.
I'd say no to some.
Our argument is that it's just a preference and that you can't control who you're attracted to. I think most of the time that this is brought up, it's in regards to race. I'll link to a couple really good videos in the description about racial dating preferences, but in this video, I want to talk about our other biases. Let's start with trans people. Would you date a trans person?
No.
No.
Honestly, think about it for a second.
No.
No.
Okay, got your answer?
No.
No. I didn't need a second.
Thank you.
Well, if you said no, I'm sorry, but that's pretty discriminatory.
I'm done.
Where you going, nigga?
Fuck this shit. There's no discrimination in what I said. I wouldn't date a person that has a penis. Because...
Or had a penis. What about had a penis? They got everything taken off.
Oh, that's different.
I'm
just not a fan of penis.
Okay, but like even if they used to have a penis.
I wouldn't mind. To me, that's not a strand. That's a woman. That's not a woman. That's a woman that can't have kids.
Yeah.
Which is a 1+.
In some situations.
I think the main concern that people have in regards to dating a trans person is that they won't have the genitals that they expect. Because we associate penises with men and vaginas with women, some people think they could never date a trans man with a vagina or a trans woman with a penis. Gay men often pride themselves on being disgusted by vaginas, and the same goes for lesbian women with penises. But I don't think they're innate at all. My point is, we have implicit biases that we were raised with or that we developed over time.
The reason you don't like penises is because society tells you you shouldn't like penises. That's what I'm saying.
So are you saying that gay people aren't born this way, that they're learning to crave cocks and dislike vaginas, that there's something unnatural about gay people, it's societally taught? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you need to refer to me with my proper pronoun.
No, I don't feel attraction towards that genital because it's naturally ingrained in me. It's the equivalent of saying you're socially ingrained to being gay. By men not wanting vaginas and being gay, you're saying that these guys are being discriminatory. If I accept the fact that gay men are gay because of birth and all of that stuff and they're not being taught, then how can you tell me that I'm being taught to be straight and taught to want a vagina?
If I see someone that is cis and is dating a trans, I'm not gonna be like, what are you doing? Nah, do you, boo-boo. I don't care. Someone says to me, I would never date a black person.
Okay.
Okay.
Personally, me, I prefer to date black women.
Go ahead.
It's not a discriminatory thing. It's just,
people.
There are certain cultural aspects that I prefer that I normally find in black women. In the same way, some men would prefer to date someone who's not trans as a result of finding certain physical features and certain upbringing features that only someone who's born as a woman would have.
But I think that people are more than their genitals. I think that you could feel attraction to someone without knowing what's between their legs. And if you were to say that you're only attracted to people with vaginas or people with penises, it really feels like you're reducing people just to their genitals.
That's not what they're saying.
That's not what they're saying.
Argument. What they're saying is, if I want to build a long-lasting relationship with somebody or have a sexual relationship with certain people, there are certain things I would look for. For example, me. If I met somebody and they didn't want to give blowjobs, I probably would stop seeing that person. Some people don't want to get married or date people below the height of 5'5". Am I to tell them that they're wrong for doing that? No, that's just their preference, and it is shallow, and it's okay. I don't give a fuck. Date what you want. But don't tell me that because I don't want to date trans people because they have a penis or used to have a penis that I'm somehow transphobic. That's ridiculous.
Yo, you want to eat that spider?
No, I don't want to eat a spider.
Why don't you want to eat a spider, man?
I don't eat bugs, nigga.
Like, you got arachnophobia? Is that what it is? So what it is, huh? You wouldn't put a spider in your mouth the same way you wouldn't put a dick in your mouth? Huh? That makes you transphobic? Huh?
Because I don't want a dick in my mouth?
You don't want to put a spider in your mouth? Whoa. That means you're transphobic.
I'm not interested in spiders. I'm not interested in dick. There's things I don't like. I'm not afraid of them.
So what it is, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter. It's just a dick. If you see a lady and she happens to have a dick, you don't want to put that dick in your mouth, you transphobic. You scared? You scared? Huh? 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 Huh?
The idea of transphobia denotes that I'm afraid of something. I'm not afraid of trans people. I just wouldn't date them.
It really feels like you're reducing people just to their genitals. You're kind of objectifying them, but you're thinking of them more as genitals than objects. So I guess you're kind of genitalifying them?
My point...
If you met someone who was extremely attractive, had a great personality, but didn't have the genitals that you wanted, you might be surprised to find that it isn't a deal breaker.
To you. It's not a deal breaker to you.
And the way that we talk about potentially dating trans people has a lot in common with the way we discuss other preferences. Saying that you're not attracted to fat people isn't innate. It's informed by a society that tells you that being thin is ideal.
No! Listen, there is an evolutionary basis in finding people that are physically fit. Women like bigger, larger men, not because they're just powerful, but because it meant something for their survival. So those were the traits that they found desirable. Fat people have always been seen as bad since the dawn of man for a number of reasons, either glutinous reasons, for disease reasons. You're at way more health risk. That doesn't make for an ideal partner if you are substantially overweight. I think a lot of people want to blame a lot of things on society not understanding the biological impact and evolution has on us as human beings. And I think that's just people thinking that they're way more important than they actually are. They think they can control everything, and you can't.
And the media you consume is bombarding you with messages that skinny is beautiful and fat is ugly. If you find someone attractive and really enjoy spending time with them, there's no reason why their weight should be a factor.
I met somebody, they ride a bike. I have to consider the danger of that. Does it mean that I make it the deal breaker? No. But these are things I take into consideration, as you should with your partner. If you care about them, you should look at their weight, especially if they're getting fatter and fatter to a point where it's a detriment to their health. You should definitely take that into consideration. Am I crazy?
Yes.
Why?
Because you're still watching this piece of shit.
We have to dissect it.
No, we don't.
When people say dumb shit, you have to dissect it.
It's all been dumb. It's all been dumb.
That's a pretty
Since
good
I know, thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah, I get that.
And lastly, let's talk about disabled people. Disabilities come in a very wide range, from being deaf to being in a wheelchair to only having one arm, and I think it's pretty ridiculous to say that you couldn't be attracted to any person who has any of those disabilities. Disabilities can happen to anyone. Someone you're extremely attracted to today could become disabled tomorrow, and that shouldn't make your attraction to them disappear. Though if it does, it might not be because of them, but rather because you have some preconceived ideas about disabled people that are just inaccurate and harmful. Unsurprisingly, this is another case of the media telling you that a certain group isn't attractive.
Boo, there's nobody telling me that women in wheelchairs are ugly. I've never seen an ad that'd be like, deaf people, they're kind of retarded. That's not something that passes on TV. You just recognize that there's difficulties with dating people who are disabled, and you can overcome those and fight through that relationship the same way if I meet somebody with a child. That is definitely something you have to consider when you date them. So this idea that, you know, these are preconceived notions that people see difficulties are difficulties. And it's the equivalent of you saying you don't see color. You're minimizing other people's experiences. If you're gonna date someone who's black, you have to take that into consideration and understand what that means. If I met a girl and she wanted to pretend like my skin color didn't matter, I'd be like, no, bitch, you do have to understand it, because you have to understand how I navigate the world and the difficulty of stuff I deal with. So that's why a lot of what this person is saying is dangerous stuff.
So by working on ourselves to dispel that idea, we can make the world a more welcoming and loving place for everybody, no matter how they look. This video is a part of my Feminism with Riley series that I'm doing in collaboration with Everyday Feminism, a website dedicated to helping you stand up to and break down everyday oppression.
I don't know what to tell y'all. This video was full of misinformation. The person had no solutions because she was making up data and information that's not real. And science doesn't back up what she says, so I don't know.
Pussy!
So that's it for today's video. Be sure to share, like, subscribe, comment, leave comments, because we read it, but we never reply. If you guys want to follow us, we got a YouTube, Instagram, Patreon, all that stuff, you know.
Share it!
Tell them.
Boom.
Cool.
Cow.
Gonk.
Yow. Dank.
Casse-toi.
Casse-toi.
We also have a Sunday open mic that happens every week here in Montreal. Details below. Other than that, see y'all soon, next week. You know, $1 makes me holler.
How you doing?